Visa and MasterCard are coming under pressure to do the same, but other companies are popping up to take their place. Contessa Brewer takes a look at what some call the alt economy.
As the chaos in Charlottesville unfolded, the white supremacist website Daily Stormer found itself in the thick of the action. It had heavily promoted the rally, even offered rides on what they called the hate van, an alternative to Uber, which had refused service to white supremacists. Daily Stormer was promptly refused service from its web host, GoDaddy. Google followed suit. Now, Daily Stormer has moved to a Russian domain. As American companies move to distance themselves from white supremacists, they leave a void, increasingly being filled by clone alternatives. The alt-right is largely self-funded. Members of the movement donate to their favorite organizations. If GoFundMe won't host them, WeSearcher will. Many of the postings now ask for legal defense funds for white supremacists and neo-Nazis. Daily Stormer has raised more than $150,000 on this site alone. Supporters can pay with credit cards or bitcoins. PayPal's not an option at this point. Counter.Fund will offer an intermediary wall between extremists and the credit card processors in PayPal. It even converts Bitcoin to cash, all for a hefty 20% fee, which is funneled in part back to the alt-right movement. Its founder, Pax Dickinson, told me, "We can't trust these companies because they're controlled by the left. We need to build our own systems, need to build a shadow economy. We can't rely on any of these companies." Dickinson pictures Counterfund as a grocery co-op with members buying from each other and job boards where applicants would have no fear of being fired for controversial views. When YouTube changed the way it compensates content creators, many artists, filmmakers, and journalists joined Patreon. But this summer, Patreon kicked off right-wing journalist Lauren Southern, sparking a backlash. Enter Hatreon. It offers a platform to pay creators who push even the most extreme speech. As much as 15% of its revenue comes in Bitcoin to allow anonymity and cut out a middleman. Patreon's founder, Cody Wilson, insists he's not a white supremacist. He says he's simply committed to open discourse. He told me, "We're at a post-political moment where you can have all the opinions you want, as long as they're the right ones." Gab welcomes all opinions. It's a social media alternative to Twitter and Facebook, which have cracked down on hate speech. It's raised more than $500,000 in just 36 days and counting. With more than 200,000 users around the world, Gab is not only protecting dissent, but planning a new cryptocurrency to compete with Bitcoin, and even bigger plans to launch alt-economy businesses.
If PayPal is listening to this, hi PayPal, we're going to replace you PayPal, and we're going to replace you Stripe, and we're going to replace the whole system, and we're also going to replace credit cards and all the little bank transaction fees these big banks taking. Gab is not about left or right. It's an economic populist movement.
And a movement that's making money and becoming more sophisticated all the time. Contessa Brewer, Nightly Business Report.